Notion, the productivity platform we know today as a $10 billion company, was almost a failure. In fact, at one point, it was on the verge of bankruptcy. Yes, you heard that right. A company backed by top-tier investors almost didn't make it. How did it go from near bankruptcy to becoming a juggernaut in the digital workspace industry? Let's go back to the beginning to uncover why Notion almost went bankrupt and the one decision that saved it. Founded by Ivan Zhao and Simon in 2013, Notion started with a bold vision: to build an all-in-one workspace. Their goal was to create a tool that could combine note-taking, task management, and project organization into a single platform. At a time when other productivity apps were either too simple or too complicated, Notion aimed to strike the perfect balance between functionality and ease of use. Even Zhao, who had previously worked at Inkling, and Simon Last, a former Google engineer, were the brains behind this ambitious project. They envisioned a tool that wasn't just another note-taking app. It would be a fully customizable workspace, adaptable to anyone's needs. But the reality of getting to that vision would be far more challenging than they anticipated. The early days were rough, with the team struggling to find a product-market fit. Notion's problems weren't just technical. They also had to compete in an already crowded market. Popular productivity tools like Evernote, Microsoft OneNote, and Google Keep dominated the landscape. These companies had well-established user bases, deep pockets, and years of development behind them. In short, Notion was fighting an uphill battle against giants. The product's lack of appeal and the underwhelming reception led to a significant issue: lack of funding. At a crucial point, the company almost ran out of money. In fact, Zhao and Last had to make some tough decisions about whether to continue or shut down the company altogether. This financial crisis almost marked the end of Notion before it even had a chance to take off. By 2015, after several failed attempts to gain traction, the company had reached a financial breaking point. At this stage, Notion had a very small user base, and the initial investors were beginning to lose confidence. The company's runway was almost up, and without new funding or a major breakthrough, the team knew they were at risk of going under. However, this was a defining moment for the founders. Rather than giving up, they made a pivotal decision. They would completely overhaul the product and focus on delivering something that people would actually love to use. It wasn't just about competing with big players. It was about creating something entirely different: a flexible, customizable workspace that could grow with its users. This decision marked the beginning of Notion's transformation, but it came at a cost. The founders had to make drastic changes, including reducing the size of the team and restructuring operations. It was a do-or-die situation, and the next steps would either make or break Notion. The turning point came in 2016 when the Notion team moved to Kyoto, Japan, to rebuild the product. They took a step back, put aside everything they thought they knew, and started fresh. The idea was to build something that was truly different from anything else on the market. This move to Japan was a gamble, but it proved to be a smart one. At this time, Zhao and Last brought on Akshay Kothari, who had previously worked at LinkedIn, to help lead the charge in scaling the product. Kothari's experience in building high-performing teams would later prove essential in Notion's success. But before they could scale, they needed to address the core issues that had plagued the product from the beginning. The team decided to focus on making the app incredibly flexible. They stripped back unnecessary features and designed a clean, user-friendly interface. One of the key innovations was the blocks system, where users could combine text, images, tables, and more into customizable pages. This level of customization was something that Notion's competitors couldn't offer, and it quickly became one of the platform's main selling points. The new version of Notion, launched in 2018, was a major departure from what the company had initially built. It was a game changer. The team had created a product that was intuitive, adaptable, and could be used by anyone, from casual note-takers to complex project managers. What followed was a period of rapid growth. Notion's new focus on simplicity and customization resonated with users, and word of mouth began to spread. The company started to attract a loyal following, particularly among designers, developers, and startup founders who valued the app's flexibility. The move to Kyoto and the decision to rebuild turned out to be one of the best choices the team ever made. By 2019, Notion had hit its stride. After years of iteration and near failure, it found product-market fit by offering unmatched flexibility in a space dominated by rigid tools. Notion's drag-and-drop interface and modular block system allowed users to fully customize their workspace, whether for personal use, team collaboration, or business management. This customization became its edge. Instead of heavy marketing, Notion leaned into organic growth. Users began sharing their workflows, templates, and use cases on platforms like YouTube, Reddit, and Twitter. This grassroots momentum became a powerful marketing engine. Notion didn't chase customers. The customers came to them. The real inflection point came in early 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic forced a global shift to remote work. Teams urgently needed digital-first tools that could replace physical notebooks, whiteboards, and in-person coordination. Notion was ready. Its ability to mold to any workflow made it ideal for remote teams, project management, and knowledge sharing. User growth surged. Within months, Notion added over 1 million new users. Companies that had previously avoided digital collaboration tools suddenly adopted Notion in droves. This explosive growth caught the attention of investors. In March 2020, Notion raised a $50 million Series C round led by Andreessen Horowitz. The valuation, $2 billion. This funding allowed the company to scale, investing in infrastructure, product improvements, and a rapidly growing team. Growth leaders like Brian Balfour were brought in to professionalize operations. From a lean team of under 20, Notion scaled to over 100 employees by 2021, expanding operations in the US and Japan. Investors saw long-term recurring revenue potential. By 2021, Notion's valuation climbed to $10 billion. It wasn't just a note-taking app anymore. It had become a serious contender in the productivity software industry. Regardless of the outcome, Notion has proven that with vision, execution, and community, a small startup can go toe-to-toe with giants and win.